other. Now, you are the last, but you're not the least. Introduce yourself.
My name is Norman Scott. Very brief. I taught for 40 years in the New York City school system. I do want to say there were some very good stories. You may have missed them, but they happen to come from public school parents. From PS15, I could bring 1,000 people here with great stories from public school parents with stacks of books too, including my old school. And so the point is that you know, I do want to say though, I understand full well your reasons for possibly wanting to send your children to the schools. It makes sense. We heard John White extol charter schools over public schools tonight. And remember, John White helps run the public schools. The schools, he was extolling the charter schools doing so much better to the schools he runs. And then we heard about there's such great demand for the charter schools. We heard this from John White, from the schools he has run Bloomberg and Klein for 8 years. I heard your people from Harlem Success get up at the PEP the other night, one person after another, trashing the schools run by the people sitting up on the stage. So I want to say that I understand your desire. I don't understand how the Harlem Success people got involved in a battle, some people, for mayoral control. In other words, you were leaving the system that you're complaining about. But I was at the big rally in Harlem, which people were being asked to sign mayoral control support cards, a political movement by the Harlem Success Academy to keep in power the very people that you are running away from. I think it's ironic. I think it's ironic. So what I'm trying to say then is that Harlem Success has, which is probably wonderful schools, though I did meet a couple of teachers from saying you don't want to teach in this school if you get old, because you can't do it. But Harlem Success is being used as a political movement. As a matter of fact, the entire charter school, because at that rally, which was, I took video of, and it's somewhat scary in a sense, but that is a dual effort. And that's why I'm here to say that charter schools is why I oppose charter schools altogether. I'm not in favor of the UFT position. I'm with the grassroots education movement, a group of progressive teachers that are opposed to the UFT straddling the fence. I saw the signs the other night when you came up in the 2 buses. I actually stood in front with the 2 professional videographers that Harlem Success had hired. I understand full well that costs a bit of money. I know it's private funding, it's not public funding, but there were 2 videographers there for the whole night with 2 buses. And it's so Harlem Success, they saw the signs, don't reward failure. Sign after sign attacking the public schools. Now, I work with the people at PS15, and you heard that parent. That's a successful school. Now, I'm not talking about Harlem Success, but to support the PAVE movement, for instance, which invades a public school, is damaging to the system that controls 97% of the children. When I heard Stephen Evangelista speak, I was a teacher, a young teacher, just like he was. I was very frustrated. I worked under the local school boards. I didn't leave. I could have left for Long Island. I could have left for better areas of Brooklyn. I taught in Williamsburg. I taught in Williamsburg for 30 years. I stayed and fought. I went to every school board meeting. I fought the system then. And I'm fighting against the charter schools because I see it as destructive as anything I have seen over the years. Not blaming you for doing what you're doing, but I just want you to understand that in the long run, you are being used, and I understand why you're being used in a political movement to undermine the public school systems. And no matter how many caps you get lifted, you will still be left with 97% of the children left over while your child does well. But let's start thinking, raise your child, but don't get involved in a political fight to undermine the rest of the people who will never get into the lottery. That's not all I have to say.
No. You may not. You may not.
Have a leaflet though?
But I would prefer you save it, and savor it, and we'll deal with it at the next one. Or you can keep on with the conversation and the discussion as you leave. But right now, we have to bring this to a close. I want to thank everybody for this first hearing with regard to the charter school movement, particularly in terms of the charter industry. What we've tried to do is understand some of the problems, some of the challenges, some of the opportunities that we needed to look at to see what legislative opportunities needed to be created such that the children that are first and foremost, the most important part of this, get the best opportunity for an education possible. So I want to thank my staff, I want to thank the central staff, and all others who have helped to make this happen, especially those of you who've been here since 7 o'clock this morning. All of you were not here at 7 o'clock this morning. And I know some of you were, and some of you were not. But it doesn't matter. You're here now, you were here during the day, and you made a very important contribution to the betterment of our public education. Thank you.
Thank you.